Hey guys, welcome to our Arrowverse weekly recap, as well as talking about Mary Hamilton of Batwoman being, I guess, the official Poison Ivy. So it makes me wonder if the Poison Ivy we've been seeing that was cast, if she's just going to be involved in flashbacks or if we're just going to have two Poison Ivies. But we'll get to that in a second. So yes, we have Legends of Tomorrow and Batwoman to talk about today. So Legends of Tomorrow, Deus Ex Latrina, was a very interesting episode. Again, if you've been following my Arrowverse recaps, you know that I don't consider Legends to be part of the canon Arrowverse, only because it's campy, it's silly. There are some dark things that happen, but not to the level of where I believe that they interfere with the plot, if you want to call it that, of the rest of the Arrowverse. At this interesting episode focused a lot on Bishop, a little bit on Zari, and of course, a little bit on one of our newest characters, which is also played by Matt Ryan, and that is Dr. Gwen Davies. So we're going to talk about that. So basically, the Legends were able to escape the 20s in the last episode, and they ended up not where they thought they were going to end up, which is like Tahiti in 2020 or 2021, but they actually ended up in what they later find out is Russia and Chernobyl. So they have, I believe it's 1 day to escape before the radiation meltdown of Chernobyl that turns most people in horror movies that are in Chernobyl into mutated creatures that try to kill you. Every time I think of Chernobyl, I keep thinking of the movie. It's crazy. So in this episode, we got a lot of things that happened that I thought were pretty interesting. First off, we finally get to see our newlyweds bickering. Last week, Sarah lost Ava because of a time slip, basically, and had to get her back, and Gary as well, because she accidentally uncreated time travel, which means there was no time agency, which means she never met Ava in the first place, or Gary. So she was able to get her wife back and Gary back, and everything's good. Everything's great. Well, now we get to see a bickering Ava and Sarah, which is interesting. They're both really, really stressed. It's kind of like that, when you're with people and you're trapped with somebody for so long, eventually you're going to fight. And I love that the team took it upon themselves to separate them and distract them with things they knew would cheer them up or be able to work their frustrations out. So I thought that was interesting. And I love the fact that Ava is so effing violent. I love the fact that she's violent. And then Asher gave her an axe and she got to cut things down and chop it. And it's just that their whole dynamic is just hilarious to me. I absolutely love their dynamic. We had a mystery solved, but did we really? We all knew that it was Bishop that destroyed the original Wave Rider. I mean, it wasn't, that was like a no-brainer. But what got me in this episode is not that Bishop kind of weep what he sold by having Gideon, the other version of Gideon, installed into the new Wave Rider, making himself the Wave, our Time Master or whatever. It's that the Gideon that's inside of the new Wave Rider, our Bishop's Wave Rider, is crazy, possessive, jealous, whatever you want to call her. She's no joke. As a matter of fact, he brings his Ava on board, and I guess Gideon felt so threatened that she literally shot her out of an airlock. Like, this Gideon is cool. I am into this Gideon. It makes me wonder if she's going to have a human body like our current Gideon, and then have the two Gideons like face off. I don't know what the plan is there, but I think it's pretty cool. I'm really happy seeing that this evil Gideon is doing her thing. Also, if you think about it, it makes me wonder which version of Gideon Barry has, back in Central City. Just put it. I know he supposedly came up with the technology to create the original Gideon, which again makes no sense to me because he doesn't seem to be the smartest person in the Flash anymore. I could see Chester P coming up with Gideon, or Cisco leaving the blueprints, or Wells. But Barry, even though he's supposed to be very good in science, he just hasn't been demonstrating to me the capability of creating something artificial and as cool as Gideon. So I don't know. I just find that really weird and hard to believe at this point. But, I digress. Whatever. Anyway, so again, the Legends are stuck in Chernobyl. They're trying to figure out how to get out of, basically get where they need to be in the future. Gwen is having lots of issues. He blames himself for them being stranded there. He also blames himself for the time during a war. So he basically, when he was younger, he fell in love with this soldier named Alon, who was basically in a soldier he had to end up leaving behind, and he wasn't able to save. And so he wants to go back in time and correct this trauma that he has. And I love that he connected with Zari over this, because you remember Zari, had the same situation with Behrad, because Behrad was a soldier and he died too early, and she did everything she could to try and save him. And like, I don't know, I love that Zari and Gwen are the two that got the closest, because it's such a parallel to Constantine and Zari 2.0 being the one that, it's just something about Zari and Matt Ryan's characters in Legends that are destined to be bound together, I guess, in some weird way. But yeah, Gwen is gay. And so we got another LGBTQ representation in Legends of Tomorrow. Like, Legends likes to roll out LGBT like nothing. Like, it's the one show in the CW that does that. It's like, oh yeah, you can be gay, nobody cares, nobody gives crap. Which, if you really think about it, is interesting, because even in the 1920s, when they had the party scene and you had Ava and Sarah and they were kissing, everyone was like, oh, they were like shocked, because they thought they were sisters. And then they're like, we're not sisters. And everyone was just like, oh, okay. Like, it was just easily accepted. So I don't know. It was really weird. But yeah, overall, this episode for me was pretty good. There are things that I thought were interesting, like Gary and Gideon ended up having sex, because Gideon was just like, would you like to have sexual intercourse? And Gary's like, hey. Gary talked about his 3 nipples. I mean, that's just something we all need to know about. I do think that Gideon and Gary are cute. I love how they were holding hands. I thought that was really cool. And I love that they have upgraded Gideon to a series regular, making her voice actress very happy, I'm sure. I'm like, very happy. I don't know. I feel like Bishop himself, like, I feel like he weeps what he sold, but I also feel like he's like the ultimate Bebe's kid. He keeps regenerating. He keeps coming back. There's always a version of Bishop. Bishop is like the most annoying villain to me, because he's annoying. Like, it's not even that he's like a villain in my mind. He's just annoying as hell. But yeah, the whole thing with Gideon and them basically finding a way to, of course, they were able to get the machine to work. And just as they were getting ready to leave, you see Bishop falling down in the chair, whatever. It's a mess. It is all a mess. It is just a mess. I don't know how Sarah is going to handle seeing Bishop again, because in the preview you see that they interact with Bishop again. If he's alive, I'm pretty sure she's going to have a lot of issues with him, because, I mean, he made her a hybrid, like alien hybrid. So she still hasn't come to terms completely with that, even though it does seem like she's adjusted pretty well. I think she likes the fact that she can heal and not die easily, making her have basically more abilities to protect Ava and the rest of them. So I think that, in a sense, makes her adjust, but I don't think she's really had the time. And really, she hasn't. I don't think any of them really had the time to really just comprehend and process what it means for Sarah to be a hybrid. And that's interesting. I don't think it's interesting that without Bishop, there would not be an Ava. So you can't hate him completely because he created the woman Sarah falls in love and marries. There's so much about Legends that's so messed up. On top of that, I love that Nate, on top of everything else that's going on, is still struggling with Zari and her wanting to move with him and live in the totem together. Like, I feel like the time apart with Zari that Zari had when she was basically talking down, she was going off to Davies. I feel like Nate, initially, Gary's always the one whispering in his ear, but I feel like Nate having that time separate from her is very telling. I don't know why, but I feel like they're going to break up. I really do. And I'm really hoping, if they do, that it's not going to be another weird ass thing where Zari 2.0 starts having feelings for Nate, and he starts liking her because she looks like Zari 1.0 and she lives in their time, which he should not do, because she's actually from the future. So either way, this is a bad situation, but I really hope they don't do this, but they might. They might actually have 2.0 and Nate get together, and I don't know how I feel about that. I really don't. But it could be a thing. It actually could be a thing. Astra and Spooner in this episode are just cool. I mean, I feel like they have an understanding between them as BFFs that they pretty much can tell what the other one is thinking before the other one says anything. So I think the best relationship, not shipping, just relationship in general, I think are Astra and Spooner. I don't know what it is. I really like their dynamic as friends, and I like their sisterhood together. Of course, I still ship Ava and Sarah, but I'm just saying that I really enjoy their friendship a lot. I really do. And I do think that Gideon is cute with Gary in such a weird way. It's just a really, really weird way. I don't know. It's just, I'm glad Gary's getting some love, because after Constantine, I kind of felt bad for him, And, his fiance is now off with Rory somewhere with their, 800 babies? I don't know. So I don't know. I think it's interesting. But yeah, I really feel like I don't know if Gwen is going to like try and go back and save his boyfriend instead of sending them to the future, or if he's actually going to help them get to the future and then try and go back. And what my worry about that is when, remember with Zari or anybody else, like with Sarah, trying to deal with Laurel's death, the legends tend to feel like death is a fixed point in a way, and going back and saving someone that's meant to die destroys the timeline. So I kind of feel like Ava is going to probably veto that idea. And it's going to cause some animosity or tension with Gwen Davies. And I know he's probably going to be with Legends for a while, because I don't think Matt Ryan is going anywhere. But I will say that Gwen Davies and Constantine are completely different characters. And I think Matt Ryan's a very talented actor, because if you really did not realize that was him with all that, the brown beard and makeup and stuff, you would, you think they were two different people. So he's doing a very good job playing a neurotic, guilt-ridden Dr. Gwen Davies, as opposed to an alcoholic, magic-obsessed Constantine. So, yeah, I'm really digging that. But yeah, I mean, like I said, there really wasn't a ton to this. It was just basically trying to figure out what's going on with Gwen. It's more of Gwen Davies. It's more of his story sprinkled in with everybody else's stuff. So, not a bad episode. Nothing really for me was revealing or gripping. The only thing I thought that was really cool towards the plot was the fact that Gideon is evil as hell. I am really excited to see what they do with Gideon. I just have all of these visions of her getting a body just like, our good Gideon, and then them having like a, remember if you ever watched the horrible Superman 3 movie where, Clark is fighting in the evil version, a dark version of Superman, kind of like that. I think that would be really cool. I would love to see how that would actually pan out. So, but yeah, knowing that Gwen Davies has this trauma and he wants to save his boyfriend and save the kids and the people he wasn't able to save in the past, and seeing that connection with Zari, complete mirror image, if you really think about it, with Constantine and Zari 2.0. And then seeing like everybody else's dynamic. I just thought it was a very good episode. Very, very good episode. So let's look at a few of the questions, and then we'll move on to my angry grandma. This is where my blood pressure stays stable, guys. Legends is like, sometimes I wish I could do Batwoman first and then talk about Legends, so I can just bring myself down. But I feel like I'd be so in my feelings that I wouldn't be able to have a neutral tone when I talk about Legends. So, oh yeah, it's a thing. Looks in the sky. It's the AGS, the angry grandma signal. I love it. I need to get somebody on Fiverr to make me a signal for angry grandma. That'd be really cool. Hi, Nicholas. How are you? Yes, evil Gideon is cool. I like the prospect of evil Gideon. Poor Ava clone, whatever. I felt so bad. Even though she's not doing good things, and like they were trying to they're trying to get rid of the legends. That was horrible. Gideon just shot her out the airlock. That was messed up. So why am I getting early flashes of Marvel's Wallflower, Lori Collins, when our girl Mary transitions into Poison Ivy Jr. and I'm living for it? Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a second. Chaotic gremlin Gideon. Yes, she's crazy. And I'm caught up on Legends. Got 5 episodes of Supergirl on DVR. Just can't seem to stay awake through. Caught up on Batwoman. I'm waiting until the crossover finished before I watch The Flash. I get it. Astor and Spooner remind me of Rory and Snart as a team. I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. You are absolutely correct. Like I said, I have no problem with Heatwave and Captain Cole being mirror images of Astra and Spooner, which really is kind of funny if you think about it, considering Astra was in hell for a while, so I'm sure she played around fire a lot. But no, I really dig their dynamic. I think their friendship is one of the best things about Legends. So, like, at least the current version of Legends, should I say. So I just never really have anything bad to say about Legends. I think that those reviews are pretty boring because it's Legends. I mean, it's meant to be campy and crazy and on crack. So again, not part of the Arrowverse. All right. Let's hydrate. Let's talk about this week's Batwoman. You know, sometimes I wonder why I watch this show, because I pretty much called all the BS that was happening in Batwoman and my season 1, theory after the season finale last year, or not even last year. I feel like it's earlier this year. I already told you what was going to happen with Ryan and Sophie. I told you guys that was going to happen. I told you #BatChaser was a thing. I didn't realize just how much they have made Sophie promiscuous in a way, because Renee Montoya. So I'll get to that in a minute. So this week, they find a man in the shed or barn or something, literally covered in bees and honey plants, because poison ivy is back. So Renee arrives at the scene, finds him wrapped in plants, smothered with honey and all these bees. She takes a sample of it and she tells the paramedics, take him to Mary's clinic. And, we've got problems, I'm like, you're taking him to Mary? Now, disclaimer, they have always treated Mary like a secondhand citizen in Batwoman since season 1, since the freaking pilot. I'm sorry. It's just how she's been treated. I think it was epic. The one thing that I loved about this episode was Mary was calling them out on their misbehavior of her. And I was here for it. I was like, you go, girl. I loved it because these people are so wrapped up in their own shit. They didn't even, question. Like, and I said this last week. Mary tried to tell Ryan and Luke that she woke up in the park and she don't know how she got there. And they didn't pay attention. They didn't care. And so now they are weeping what they sow. And I effing love it. I'm going to tell you guys. Alice egging Mary on was funny to me. I did not feel bad about it at all because Alice was telling some hard truths too. Like with Ryan, like when Ryan was like, why didn't you tell me that Mary was, bitten and you thought that she was the next poison ivy? And Alice is like, why didn't you know? You're a damn roommate. I mean, why didn't you pay attention? And I'm like, exactly. Because you in your own shit. You don't care. You just don't care. And really, Ryan couldn't say anything to that because it's absolutely true. She is a trash friend. It's just what it is. The only people that Ryan gives a damn about besides herself is kind of Luke, definitely Sophie, and now little mommy. That's literally it. She don't give a damn about Mary. And it's funny to me that she somehow now is acting like her best friend. How are you going to call Mary your best friend? She's not your best friend. You know shit about her. Like nothing about her. I'm kind of irritated that Batwoman didn't give Mary an actual friend that gave a damn. I really, really hate that. So yeah, I love she might drop it. The only thing that Mary did wrong, and this is just me, I feel like when instead of stringing them up when they went to go confront her or find her or save her when she escaped, and they realized, or Alice realized that she was triggered by sunlight. And so of course Mary knocks Luke out and she goes off to do her shit, and then Alice goes away. I wish that instead of like stringing them up, I literally looked at my spouse and I'm like, well, this is the end. We're about to kill Bat Team. I'm like, why do the villains not try to kill Batwoman? And I don't understand it. They're not trying. They are not trying. Killer Croc didn't try. Like Mad Hatter didn't try. Poison Ivy Mary is not trying. Now, I know there's a little bit of Mary in her, and that's probably, we're going to be real. If this had been the actual poison ivy, Ryan would already be whole ass dead. Let's just be clear. She would be dead because, the original Pamela doesn't give a damn about Ryan, doesn't know Ryan, doesn't care about Ryan. She would just be dead. Mary, I think, held back. But I was looking at it, I was like, man, why didn't you just do it? Save me some headaches. But it is what it is. So, of course, Luke, I'm going to tell you also, I found to be very effing hypocritical in this episode because Mary called him out for not being ready and clear, for having PTSD, not to be ready to be in the suit, right? And then he talks to his daddy when he turns the fail-safe back on in the suit, and he even says you're not ready. Luke never apologized to Mary. He never did anything to repair their friendship. And he gonna whole ass say, I don't want to lose Mary. I'm gonna put the suit on even though I'm not ready. Boy, please. No. And now I'm gonna tell you this. If Luke and Mary end up together now, I'm gonna be pissed because I don't feel like he deserves her at all. There's nothing about Luke that deserves Mary. Luke is a little, I'm gonna say it. He's the P word. With the 2 S's that I probably should not be saying as a queer woman. But that's what I feel that he is. I dislike him a lot. I do not like at all how he did not, and this is the trend in Arrowverse, people do bad things or misbehave and they never apologize to the person they do it to. They just assume everything's okay. And so when Mary was calling out that shit, I was like, yes, drop that mic, girl. Drop it. Because Luke said it. He said, that's not all poison ivy. Some of that is Mary. I'm like, you're damn right. She's tired of your shit. I mean, it's just bullshit. So I found Luke to be very hypocritical with his pseudo concern and I'm going to go save Mary attitude, because obviously you did not, even like at the beginning, whenever she would talk, if you look when she was drinking all of that water, he was acting very annoyed with her. And I'm like, just stop, just up and stop. So I'm not happy at all with how that played out. Now, one thing I will say that's strange, and Alice even calls this out too. So Mary's MO is she's taking out people for specific reasons. The first guy that she pretty much put in the bees and the honey, he's not dead. The one they took to her clinic was because she was on a dating app and he called her sweet and it pissed her off. So then she went in and she put him in honey. Ironic. And then on top of that, the second guy was the one that basically was using the Dr. Freeze's technology, and the one that froze Sophie's sister. She put him, but literally buried him in the earth. So she was going after people that either pissed her off or did wrong. And she wasn't killing innocent people, at least not yet. But Alice called this. She's like, well, I should be on your list because I killed your mom. And she's right. And I kind of feel like Mary might actually turn on her. Right now, she's treating her like her pseudo sister in crime. But I don't know if she might get to a point where she's like, I saved you for last, bitch. So I don't know if Alice is 100% safe with her either. But Alice knows how to play her buttons right now. So it is what it is. And I know that everything with Poison Ivy Mary to me is fascinating. I don't have a problem with this. I just don't want them to cop out. Like, I don't want them to build all this drama and all of this, making her this really cool villain just to her have like a Barry effing moment in the Flash where they talk her down with Care Bear love. And then it's just, everything's fine. I need there to be some actual damage done here. I need some damage done, because that is Poison Ivy in the comics. That is her in the animated series. I mean, she was rocking Uma Thurman's Poison Ivy, freaking hair. So I need them to have damage. I do not want them to, and I'm so worried because, again, Arrowverse writing is just shit. So I'm really hoping that we need the Poison Ivy that we deserve. And now I'm not saying that the actual Poison Ivy of this universe is dead, because they kind of make it seem like she's still alive, because Mary even implies that she just doesn't want to be found. So I don't think she's dead. I think she's, like she said, dehydrated. I mean, it would be really interesting if Mary was going to release the original Poison Ivy. That would be cool. But I do not want them to F this up, because they F up every damn storyline in this damn show. I do not want them to F this up. Now, another thing that's happening, which I thought is not interesting, because it's not. the Bat Chaser. So Sophie is trying to find who hurt her sister. She's on a vendetta. Plus, Sophie doesn't have shit to do. I love how Renee was like, "You don't have a job. What are you doing? What the hell are you doing in your life?" Because Sophie was like kind of being a little judgmental, saying, "This is your office. You're like literally in a building that's falling apart." And she's like, "And you have no job, heifer." I'm like, snap. And then she's like, "I left the crow." She said, "Yeah, after Jacob was going down." I'm like, that's technically true. But Sophie is on this streak of, I need to get vengeance for hurting my baby sister. And Ryan is covering for her mom and is causing a lot of issues in their pseudo romance because that's what it is. And I love that even though Mary's going through all of this shit, Ryan still has to deal with her girl because it's as Sophie turns days of Ryan's life. It's the young and the stupid. I don't know. It's so soap opera. And so now, because Sophie was in her feelings that Ryan's not telling her something, which we all know it's basically her brother is baby Joker. And she can't confide in Sophie for some damn reason, which makes no effing sense to me whatsoever. She does what any girl in that situation would do. She goes and has sex with Renee. Why the hell not? Because when she went to that damn bar and Renee was sitting at that damn bar, I said, "Oh Lord, they're going to get it on." And then what happened? I mean, I can't even write this. It's so hilarious. It's like a parody. It's like a damn parody. I love that Kate Kane's ex-girlfriends who have no connection in the comics whatsoever are now screwing. CW. Arrowverse. Love you. So yeah, there's that. And again, the secrecy behind Ryan and, protecting her mom and then telling Sophie, you don't understand her. And she didn't know what was going on. Even Sophie was looking at her like, you are batshit crazy. That should be your title, batshit crazy woman, not Batwoman. I do not understand, but I told you guys, the dysfunctional train, the Jerry Springerness that it influences the writing in this show is very apparent. I feel like there are a lot of Maury Povich, Jerry Springer genre fans in the writer's room because this is what we're getting and it's bullshit. So I just had to throw that out there because it's just stupid as hell. Mary got away, which I thought was interesting because, her and Alice are going on a road trip. And Ryan and Luke are like, we have to find her. But of course, Renee's like, well, she's enemy number one. You're protecting your sister. You need to do your job. So now it's become a dilemma of, do we take down Mary or do we save Mary? Because remember, Mary is Ryan's best friend. I mean, I don't know when the fuck that happened, but it's fine. It's completely fine. Because as far as I'm concerned, there was one episode where it seemed like Ryan was a little bit possessive. And that's because Sophie was paying attention to her. And this is the episode where we had, who was it? I forgot the name of the villain. It just went out of my head, but it's the episode when we were in the TV show, our TV studio, and they were basically stuck on the pressure sensor on the stage and there was a bomb. And that entire episode, Ryan was in her feelings because Mary was, had a connection with Sophie and she was jealous about it. That was literally the only episode in last season. And now outside of that, it's like, so Mary who? Yes, Mary saved my life by giving me a place to live, taking up for me, standing up to me against Luke, ensuring I could become Batwoman, and basically saving my life multiple times, especially in terms of when I was poisoned with kryptonite poisoning, because nobody else on that team could get this shit out of me and figure out how to synthesize the Desert Rose. But Mary has been so instrumental in Ryan's life, and yet she treats Mary like a secondhand citizen. And you know what? You reap what you sow. So if anything came out of this episode is Ryan got the mic dropped on her ass. The tea was spilled and she can't say shit about it because she's a shit friend. She just really is. She is a shit friend. And Sophie's even seeing Ryan as a shit friend. And I'm like, because Ryan's a shit friend. Like, Ryan is in for Ryan. I don't know why people aren't getting this. Now, I don't know what's happening with Wayne Industries. Because I mean, they didn't really dwell on it too much. I mean, I think the stocks are still down, but who knows what the hell is happening? She obviously didn't step down as acting CEO. So I don't know. Maybe the company we don't need to talk about the company right now. It's not important. It just funds our entire organization, our entire outfit, basically. like we can't do anything without the money from Wayne Industry. But I got to deal with my mama and my brother Marcus, who's Baby Joker. Oh, it's so stupid. It's so stupid. I can't, guys. I really can't. I really can't. Oh, Lord. I think next week is the mid-season finale, I guess is what they're calling it. So, like, all the shit that's going to happen with Mary is going to happen in the next episode. But my fear is that we're going to have a little bit of Mary and more Sophie drama. Maybe she'll feel bad for sleeping with Renee. Maybe she'll feel bad for, not figuring out what's going on with Ryan. And Ryan might feel bad for Sophie and blah, 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 blah. Hashtag back chaser forever. That is the ship name for me, by the way, guys. Hashtag bat chaser. I know that is more applicable towards Sophie's choices because Sophie sleeps with everybody in this damn show now. That's what they've made Sophie. If you are a lesbian or bisexual in this show, Sophie's going to get with you. That's what she does. She is the resident hoe. I'm sorry. It is absolutely true. The only person she hasn't gotten on with is Angelique. And she, if she really tried hard enough, she probably would have got that too. I'm just saying. She just did. I guess there was just no varying interest. But she didn't get with her. And then the girl that Ryan was talking to from the community center for like 2.5 seconds. Which, by the way, how's the community center doing? just questions I have. But yeah, outside of that, every prime player in this, if you are bi or you're lesbian, Sophie has to initiate them by having sex with them, apparently. I don't know. Where's Julia? Is Julia still brainwashed? Does anyone care? Does Sophie even remember that she just up and decided to go to Germany for no reason? And you don't find that a little bit suspicious? No. Julia is literally living a life that she didn't ask for because she was brainwashed and nobody gives a damn. Yay. Can we have another crisis on Infinite Poop and retcon this shit? I mean, I'm serious. I am so serious. Oh, Lord. This show is just like it writes itself. That's what it does. It writes itself badly. It's just very stupid. But I will say I am loving, let me see if I can bring up the picture. I am loving the costume of Mary. Like, it looks badass to me. I love the costume design on this. So let me see if I can share this so we can talk about how cool this picture is. Here we go. So let's look at this. This, like even the hair, like are they going to dye her hair red? Or is this a wig? Honestly, though, I'm really digging her with this color hair. But look at this. Little boy shorts. Like, this is cool. It actually makes her look like she has boobs. I'm really impressed. Like, just messing with you, Mary. You have boobs. But no, like Mary is let's be real. She's my only favorite character. I like Alice. She's entertaining, but I like Mary. Mary is the underdog in this show, and everybody treats Mary like crap, and she does so much. But look at this. Got all sparklies on her freaking stockings and stuff. I mean, I am not hating on this picture, guys. This is cool. But I just need to know, is this dyed hair? And why couldn't she keep the little buns at the top, all Uma Thurman? Because, I mean, what she had in this episode, that was basically what was in the Bat movie, the George Clooney Bat movie. So I have no problem with this. But I really, really am digging this outfit. I think they did a very good job on this. So if anything, I'm happy with the costume design. Now, the story, I'm like, I don't know. They don't tend to write these well. So I try to keep an open mind even when I don't like the show. I really do. I go in thinking, okay, maybe this week it won't be trash. And so far, unfortunately, I've been wrong like almost every time. So I am super worried that they're going to take this storyline, which has potential. Mary being Poison Ivy has a lot of potential. And they're going to milk it down. It's going to be milked down like Martian Manhunter. You're going to be sitting there and you're going to be like, wow, this is all it took to defeat Mary. Like they're probably gonna have this. I'm sorry, Mary. You're like my sister. I'll do better. Blah, 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 blah. And then finally she's gonna be like, okay. And then she's just gonna not be evil anymore. And I think I will lose my mind. I think I will lose my mind. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right, let's look at some questions here. Do you prefer this season or last season? So it really depends on what you mean. In terms of Ryan, neither, because this season has done nothing but make her more and more into Black Kate Kane. So in terms of Ryan, neither season. They really effed Ryan's character up. It's just what it is. In terms of Sophie, probably last season. In terms of Mary, last season. In terms of Luke, season 1. I'm like, Luke has been annoying the shit out of me this season. Like, seriously, I don't know what it is about CW writing Black characters, but they don't do it correctly, especially in the Arrowverse. They made Chester P a whiny little biatch in the first part of the crossover for Armageddon. And now they have Luke being in his feelings and being whiny as shit since the pilot episode of season 3. So I don't know. I don't know. I really get in my feelings too when I realize that there are POCs in the writer's room that are doing this. And I don't understand why. There's no reason why Luke should be a little bitch. I'm just saying. There's no reason. He wasn't in the comics. And I know you're trying to make him into the Black male version of Felicity, but it's not working. Stop being in your damn feelings. Stop being wishy-washy. Stop being a bitch. I don't like him. I'm gonna be real. I don't. No hate to the actor, Cameras, whatever the hell your name is. I just don't like your character. I think he's whiny as shit, and I don't like him. Let's see. In terms of the other character, in terms of Alice has been pretty static through all seasons. She's the same. So I mean, they try to they do redemption arc on her, and then they take it away. It's so weird. It's like you're gonna be redeemed, but not this week. But next week, but not this week. So it's like this whole wishy-washy, make up your damn mind what you're doing with Alice type scenario. She's a complex character, but you don't have to write her like she's bipolar, and you don't have to write like you're bipolar. So I have a lot of issues with that. Yeah, there's a lot. Like this season for me is stupid because it's so unbelievable. There's no reality where Ryan would ever be in charge of anything that the Wayne family owns. Because she's an ex-felon. The board would be like, what in the hell is wrong with you? This is the image that we're putting out now. And the acting CEO, like basically a fellow or a previous con, a con artist / felon to acting CEO of one of the richest, companies in the Arrowverse makes no sense. Optically, it makes zero sense because these large corporations have an image and they like to put out this image of, let's be clear, snootiness, entitlement. We are who you aspire to be, blah, blah, blah. And by doing this with Ryan, it doesn't make any damn sense. And so but that's really the writer's fault. Ryan could have been the person that could have been a CEO. They wrote her out the door, just being somebody that lives in the damn van with a plant. So like, it's literally like a Cinderella story, only she's her own prince. Or I guess Kate Kane is her prince, if you really think about it. How would you like to be a Black version of me and Ryan? That's basically what happened. It's stupid. It's very, very stupid. I think it's a wig because I see Rina Sawayama has this red color and shaded wig in one of her music videos. I think it was Excess. Okay. That's cool. Julia will be a future villain, called it. Probably. Yes, come through, Mary. I am so happy that Mary got to say what she said, guys. You have no idea. It was needed. She needed to call both of their asses out on their shit. I think that was the most enjoyable part. And the most predictable part is when Sophie started sleeping with Renee. I'm in my feelings, guys. I'm in my feelings. I cannot. Let's see. Sophie is like Sarah Lance before she got with Ava. Everyone is fair game. I mean, It's true though, because I remember Sarah slept with Alex at Iris and Barry's wedding, right the night before their wedding in Elseworld. So that was funny as hell. The walk of shame Alex was doing. I'm willing to bet that Tim Drake is heavily pissed that Ryan is tanking the corporation. If he's not dead on my theory, all the Bat protege turned into his rogue gallery, because I feel like this is a whole new timeline Crisis gave us. I don't know what Crisis gave us. I'll be real with you. They don't know what they did either. That's the sad part. Maybe Marcus will be the kind of clown that frowns all the time. I'm going to tell you this. If they start making him dress up in a green wig and white, rice powdered face and clown makeup, and because that's going to accomplish two things. If they have him basically be the new Joker, then Ryan will not only have Kate Kane's life and that her sibling is dark, like, Kate and Alice's relationship, she will also be the new Batman and have her own Joker. Guys, they're doing too much. They're doing too much. So when do you think we're going to get Baby Freeze and Teen Enigma Riddler if we are heading down this new League of Rogues? Who knows? If we do get them, they'll only be in for 5 minutes. So it doesn't matter. They won't be a major part of the story because Sophie's mad at Ryan. And that's what we need to focus on. Mary deserves better. Yes, she absolutely does. I don't know. Do you think that Marcus will turn into the Creeper from the animated series because he does share many similar traits to him? Yeah, and both have ties to the Joker and their shared madness. Maybe that's what they were aiming for. Maybe he is going to be the new Creeper. Who knows? I don't know. I love how Mary was with Alice at the end, the only person who treated her right. She was basically the only one that noticed something was going on, and Alice was not holding back telling Ryan that shit. And I loved it. I love how Ryan was getting into her feelings. Why didn't you tell me? And she's like, oh, bitch, you live with her. I'm like, you coming at me? You the one that effed up. I'm like, uh-huh. If Sophia's still on the beach. That's a good question, Ryan. That's a damn good question. You would want to believe that somebody called in and said there's a woman with a knife hanging out of her on the beach. Come get her. The problem that I have with Sophia being left in the open like that is that if they did call, then the forensic teams would come down and then they'd extract the dagger for evidence and Sophia would wake up. So I want to say that Alice put her somewhere because if she did leave her on the beach, she would already be awake. That's how it will work in reality. Now, in this show, though, they tend to bend reality to a way that's just stupid. So she could still be on the beach and nobody called anybody and she's just laying there. Like everybody in Gotham's like, that dead body with a knife hanging out of it's all good. I don't know. Maria, you should be the writer. I would love to fix this show, but that's too much. They've effed up so much stuff. I would have to retcon this whole damn thing. Like we're going back to square one. The whole damn show has to be revamped. Oh my gosh, I couldn't do it. What are your thoughts on Renee and OG Ivy's romantic conflict of interest? It's weird for me because even though the Question has interacted with Poison Ivy before in one of the Batman books, I can't remember when, and was not to any level that it is now. The Arrowverse has this way of having to have everybody connected in some way, even if it makes zero sense. So having Renee Montoya basically be Poison Ivy's bitch makes zero sense to me. Harley, yes. Renee, no. Renee has so much sense in the comics. She's very logical, very level-headed. It's why she became the new Question. So I don't see a world where Renee was whipped by Poison Ivy into being like this person that's like, oh, my girlfriend, I had to do something. I had to go to Batman to get her to stop because she was just out of control and that destroyed my career. And blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, like he's just doing too much. Doing too much. I'll be real with you. I don't like it. But they have to have drama. This is how you make the soap opera fans happy. This is not a comic book show by any means. Don't ever think that this is. Yes, you have some tie-ins from villains. You have the names of the heroes, but this is not a comic book series. Ryan is dangerous in Gotham. Take this weed killer. We still don't know really know what Kate went through when she was pulled from the crash. We don't. We absolutely don't. And honestly, I don't know. I feel like we're not going to. If Kate was still here, they would have made a love triangle with Kate, Sophie, and Renee. Instead, they've done it with Ryan. Yep. Putting Ryan and Sophie together is, again, it's the whole Charmed, guys. It's the whole Mel and Ruby situation. It is a U-Haul romance. They went from not really liking each other because Sophie was always Ryan's arresting officer for the most part, to tolerating each other, to kind of trusting each other. And now they went from that. They haven't even said they were friends. They went from that to now they're flirting with each other. So it's like, all right, they're going to be moving in together soon. Poor Alice. She's going to have a third roommate. So it's just dumb. Alice was funny as hell this episode, but Mary is MVP. I absolutely agree with that. I do agree with that. I love how some people think season 3 is better, but I'm like, is it really? That's because people, I'm telling you, as POCs, we have to have representation. We don't give a shit if it's bad or not. We just get so happy that we see people that look like us on television that we will accept any garbage that comes out of the damn screen. And that's something I will never understand. I will never understand that. You should be offended as shit. I'm only part black and I'm offended by this shit. So like I get so in my feelings when I get, especially when people try to call me out and they're like, why are you saying about Ryan? You don't like the fact that she's a strong black female. No, that's not it at all. It's not. I would love for her to be a strong black female, superhero. She's not. She is Kate Kane with black skin. That's what people are not seeing. They are not making Ryan Wilder. They are making Kate Kane. Period. They did not recast Kate Kane. They just made her black. That's what they did. And people need to F and see that. And then they kept the same BS storylines that they were going to give to Kate and just modified it in a way that makes zero sense to Ryan. Like it makes no fucking reason they should be using Ryan in these storylines. I'm sorry. None. Yes, she could still fight Batman's previous villains. I have no problem, but make it organic. Make it in a different way. You don't have to have all this shit. It's so stupid to me. It is stupid to me. I think this is the most interesting stuff Mary has ever gotten as an actor on this show. Sometimes you just hold out. Maybe you can get stuff to do on CW. Yeah, she's probably thinking that too. She's like, finally, I get to get out of this damn clinic. Yeah. Sorry, I called it. Well, sort of. I mean, it's not hard. Mary did what she had to do. I was here for reading those mofos out. Hashtag Team Mother Nature. I was like, yep, we're about the popcorn. Do it, girl. I'm like, you do it. Is Batwoman getting better? No. Honestly, the way Luke and Ryan were struggling to take on Mary, I can only imagine how it's going to be once they go up against Pamela. She going to kill their ass. I'm telling you, it's like, I call it the Martian Manhunter effect because I effing love Martian Manhunter. But on Supergirl, they effed him up. They milked his abilities to the point where they were stupid. They made him do stupid shit, especially in the series finale, him grabbing Mama Luther's legs when all he had to do was get into her fucking head and make her sit down and shut up. Makes zero sense to me. And this is what they're doing. This is what they do. So with Poison Ivy, when she comes out, this very powerful villain that they're building up, is probably going to be talked down or smacked down like a bitch, either by Renee crying, I love you, blah, 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 or they'll find some little gadget that freezes her. Maybe they'll use Mr. Freeze's gun. Who knows? But it's going to be something stupid. And I already know it. Like I'm 100% certain it's going to be stupid. That does it for a possible insert in the future fanfic. I might end up having Mary be a future mentor for the children of Bumblebee and Harold. That'll be cool. That would be cool. Okay, let me scroll down a little bit because I know that people have been posting. 1 second. Okay. Great outfit. Yes. Yes, come through Mary. I'm so, like I said, best part of the episode was her going off on them. Julia will be a future villain. Called it. I agree with that. I think it's a wig because I think we did that one already. Enter that one. She has the buns. Look at the angle of the shot. Okay. It's probably because it's probably the way that the camera is holding and you don't see the top of her head. Like I said, I'm here for it. I am here for it. How did Ryan become CEO when Luke and his dad have been involved for all of Luke's life? These are questions we asked 2 or 3 episodes ago. But I mean, why would you give it to loyal employees that have the brains to handle the situation when you can give it to Ryan, who is essentially the Black Kate Kane? So technically, they were just keeping it in the family. Also, Alice helping Mary because she has to be relevant, and the writers have no idea what to do with her. They really don't. They do not. I mean, why would they? They have nothing. They have nothing to actually. Well, let's put it this way: Jacob's gone, so the daddy's gone. Kate's off trying to find Batman, which I still don't understand why the fuck she's trying to find Bruce Wayne. I don't understand that at all. Unless what happened in Crisis when she met the alternate version, played by Kevin Conroy, and she wants to make sure that Bruce isn't going down that road because Luke told her that he killed Joker. Maybe she thinks, oh, maybe he's turning evil. Maybe he needs me, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I don't know why she's going on this let's find my cousin's soul searching shit. It's really weird. But Alice has absolutely no purpose. What happens when they get all of the Batch stuff back? Then what's going to happen with Alice? Do you need Alice on the show anymore? I mean, this is the truth. She, outside of being the stepsister of Mary, what's her purpose? Like, what is she there for? It's weird. It's just really weird. I don't know. I wonder if Mary continues down the path as Poison Ivy Jr. or Flora, would she develop more abilities from contracting this rash, or will it become someone like Cornelia Hale from Witch? Good question. That is a very good question. Wouldn't Luke be the CEO, given that he worked with the corporation for years and was mainly the R&D department? Wouldn't that make more sense than having Ryan, who didn't know heads or tails what to do with said company? I mean, see, I think you just answered your own question. You said makes sense. Since when has this show have made sense to you or anybody? It's not meant for people who have logical thinking skills. That's if you think critically, then you're watching the wrong series. And unfortunately, I have to review it. And when I watch it, it's painful for me. So I'm going to tell you this, guys. I love you. Don't ever think I don't love the fact that you guys, especially my OG ATM people, I watch the show because I want to make sure that I am doing I'm doing justice by doing a full Arrowverse review. I was watching episode 7 of Arcane before this stream, and I had to pause it, and it hurt my soul. It hurt my soul. I am wanting to get back to Arcane so bad because I'm like, I don't want to talk about this shit anymore. Oh, it's like when you watch something like Arcane and then you talk about Batwoman and you realize that Batwoman has a bigger budget than Arcane. And like they're accomplishing in 9 episodes, which Batwoman couldn't do in 3 fucking seasons. It is so hard for me. It's hard. It's hard. Guys, how are people not seeing them turning Ryan into Kate? I have no idea. I have no idea. Like, maybe what I'm saying is true. The people that are into this show that watch it and really like it, it's a problem with critical thinking. I guess that's what it is. Some people just don't see it. They don't see it. They just look at it for their popcorn entertainment. It's very, fast. It's got some costumes I like. And, I recognize the names of the villains, and that just makes them happy. And they don't have a deeper, they don't look at details. They don't look at plot the same way people look at it when you actually are trying to understand the entire series. That's what I think is happening. People are taking on an episode by episode basis, and they just don't see anything. So it's weird. It's weird. Crump comes to Gotham. Off topic, is the 4400 the first CW show to have 2 trans male supporting lead actors and a series regular actress with a disability? I can't think of any CW show that has done that yet. I think so. I think that, I don't think there are any other. No, there's always the token. So yeah, you're right. That might be I guess I can get away with that with the 4400. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's probably for the books right there. Now, how they write them though is what really matters. It's good to have them, but don't have representation and then just do nothing with them. So that's another thing that they do. We see this happen plenty of time in the Flash, mainly with Cisco and Caitlin. And when they tried to put Barry and his cuddling circle in their place, they were demonized and it becomes lackluster. Yeah. Well, like I said, they are character assassinating Chester P. I am very upset with how whiny and bitchy he is. Well, he really wasn't bitchy. He was just whiny as hell. in part one of the crossover, he was just, the reason he was getting in his feelings was stupid as hell to me. Just dumb. If you can't handle that, why are you on this team? It doesn't make any sense. The Mary did what she had to do. I was there for reading those to mofos out. Hashtag Team Mother Nature. Hashtag Nature always wins. Yep. Hi, Guido. Ended up sleeping in another rough work. Hey, nobody's going to tell you to get up to come to the stream on a Saturday. It's fine. The only way I see Renee going down this path is that she got dosed with a mix of scarecrow, spirit toxin, and poison ivy and intoxicating pheromones that messed with her mind at some point. Self-destruction. I mean, look, right now she's sleeping with Sophie, so they got that girl. Oh, you talk about character assassinating a character. That Sophie has so much damn potential. Sophie should have been, in my mind, Sophie should have been Batwoman. She's already established. She had the same training as Kate. She could have done it as an homage to her girlfriend. And if Kate was going to leave anything to anybody, it would be Sophie, because that's the love of her life. That's what she says. So Sophie becoming acting CEO of, Wayne Industries, Wayne Tech, whatever you want to call it. I have no problem with that, because I feel like she is smart enough to do it. I feel like all of her time of playing these politics and dealing with people, as a Crow leader, especially skirting all these, because the Crows were for hire, so they work for everybody, from corporations to probably, diplomats, all kinds of people. I could see her being able to navigate that world a lot better than Ryan. Ryan should not know a damn thing about high society and dealing with anything on that level. And so I could see Sophie being a good Batwoman replacement for Kate. And then it wouldn't be Black Kate Kane, because Sophie's already effing established and she's actually in the comics. So like I said, I don't know what the hell. Sometimes you just wish you could just be a fly on the wall for a day, just really listen to the bullshit in the writer's room. And then when they say something you don't like, just fly in their mouth and choke them out. I don't know. It's a mess. It is a mess. You've missed a few things. Is it really better? I'm getting cartoon more flashbacks with this terrible writing. Like we all been saying, they just made Kate Kane in a different font. There you go. That's it. So I'm thinking maybe an Asian or a Latina that one. Sorry, I meant to say Kate Kane next season of The Woman. What do you think? I think that they can never get rid of Ryan, because optically in this social political climate, they would be creamed, crucified, canceled, whatever you want to say. They can't get rid of Ryan as Batwoman. It does not look good, especially the POCs. They just fucked up. Like if they were going to bring Ryan in, and I know, I've said it, other people have had different ways of it. My thing is, I've always wanted her to be a detective with GCPD. I wanted her to be burned out from all the corruption in GCPD. And her partner was killed by Alice. And that is why she doesn't like Alice. And maybe her partner was her lover. And then that also means that she knew Renee and she had connections to all of these different cases. Maybe she even worked on some of the Batman cases. And then when she's hired as a PI by Mary to find Kate, and she finds a suit, and then that opens up questions of, hey, what the hell is this? And they can't lie to her because she's just that smart that she knows they're fucking lying. And then they're like, hey, well, you have fighting skills. Why don't you be Batwoman, or blah, 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 blah. And then organically she becomes Batwoman. This whole finding the suit, living in a van shit. I cannot having her be an ex-convict that doesn't realize that she was actually arrested. It was justifiably obvious she should have been arrested if she had drugs on her person, because it's a crime. Having her know that what she was arrested for was illegal is fine. Her probation officer has to be the most lenient probation officer on the effing planet, because she got to be Batwoman the whole damn season with hardly no interruptions until the finale. So there's that. her having her little hearing and telling everybody that they were wrong for arresting her was stupid. Like all of that shit was dumb. It's just all dumb. And now she's the acting CEO of Wayne Industries. I can't handle it, guys. I cannot. Martian deserves so much better. Yes, he effing does. He, like I said, even the Zack Snyder cut, spoiler, close your ears. I did not like the fact that I had a Martian Manhunter that existed in a world where he did not fight. He just waited back to see what was going to effing happen, to see if he wanted to join the team. Oh, Lord. It's just, John and Mary deserve so much better. I agree with that. Batwoman, dang, autocorrect. Hey, we know what you were talking about. Remember when Ryan got destroyed by Kate? She got her ass handed to her. Alice had to help her fight, and then she turned around and had Alice put in Arkham. Because Ryan is also a bad ally. She backstab her. Alice should have left in season 2. True story. So Bruce left his company to his black cousin he didn't know he had. Who did he leave the company to? Because honestly, I always thought Luke was the acting CEO. I always thought Kate was over the real estate division, but I didn't think she was the CEO. I thought she was just opening her own stuff and doing her own thing. So like, it's news to me that she was over all of Wayne Industries. And then on top of that, Bruce didn't leave shit. I don't like, literally Luke was already in that building in the pilot episode of season 1. So I just thought he was running shit. I don't know why. I just believed he was running shit, but yeah, whatever. It'd be cool if Mary meant being another Poison Ivy. It'd be cool to have an Asian Poison Ivy. Absolutely. I have no problem with that. But I have little hope given what they're doing with Ryan. It is troubling and worrying when the writing is bad on this show. Also, the Batcave has windows that have sunlight coming through them. Since when, I asked, isn't the cave underground? Yeah. I forgot that tidbit. I'm sorry. Thank you, Leah, for bringing that up. You know, and it doesn't make sense because I could have swore when they had the desert rose down there, they were using a UV light to harvest it. Whatever. Don't try and think. It makes your head hurt when it comes to this show. You'll never be right. I think Mary becoming Poison Ivy is good character development. It's good. I need her to have some. Now I'm expecting a Talon, Dick Grayson, Cassandra Cain as Mini Shiva, Damien as the Demon Head, and Tim Drake as either Stray, Catwoman Protege, or Joker Jr. I don't want any of these things to happen in Batwoman because they were F them up. They can never bring Cassandra Cain or Shiva at all into this fucking show. Because if they bring Lady Shiva into this series and Ryan whoops her ass, I can't do this. I can't do these reviews anymore. I'm done. I'm telling you that. Don't talk to me about this show. Do not talk to me about Batwoman because it does not exist in my mind. Because that is bullshit. Shiva would literally shish kebab her ass like without even trying, without even breaking a sweat, without even leaving her chair. She'd have Ryan on a shish kebab. I find it hard to watch CW stuff now aside from Legends. Everybody does. Trust me. Everyone does. I'm enjoying the 4400. I haven't seen it. Now, I remember, if I'm correct, this is a remake of the original show, right? I haven't had a chance to check it out because there's just too much. It's too much going on. I really need to catch up on DC Comics. Last time I read anything DC, Jessica Cruz ended up picking up Yellow Lantern Ring. I wonder where she ended up. I saw that issue too. I don't know. I might even have those issues. I have a Comixology subscription, so I have a bunch of comics that come in and I haven't had a chance to read. So I need to go get my Fire tablet and check that. I need to check that out, actually. It's always in my brain, but then something else happens and I get distracted from different storylines. But right now, I'm not going to lie to you. The moment this stream ends, I do have something to do at 1, but I'm going right back to episode 7 where I left off in Arcane. Because if you are not watching Arcane, you are doing yourself a disservice because that show is effing amazing. And I'm not a League of Legends fan. Well, to be fair, I don't know if I am. I've never played the game. My daughter's been playing it for years. She can tell you everything about League of Legends, but I've never played the game. But I'm telling you, Arcane, fucking A. We will be doing either a stream or I'll be doing a review on that tomorrow. I absolutely effing love this show. Everything about it. So, Arcane, if you have not had a chance to watch it because I am going to be talking about it. It is epically cool. There's Batwoman, which is nowhere near the League of Arcane, but has a bigger budget, and it's ridiculous. And you need to watch Arcane to recover for the shitstorm that is Batwoman. That's all I'm going to say. Sophie as Batwoman will be cool. I love her. I would love to have Sophie as Batwoman. I think that would be a redeeming factor for me in this damn show. It really would. And then her wanting to save Mary would be awesome. Plus, I don't think Sophie would actually ignore Mary. Sophie just has a lot of shit going on. If Sophie lived with Mary, her and Mary would be talking all the damn time because they were talking in season 1 and in season 2. So, I mean, they're making Sophie ignore Mary because of Ryan, and it irritates the shit out of me. Honestly, I don't see Ryan as Batwoman. I see her more as Flame Bird. Yep, because she shares a lot of tendencies with Mary Beth Kane. I agree with that. But I mean, a lot of people don't realize that Kathy Kane and Kate Kane are 2 different people too. So you in a league by yourself. Because that's what I see more when she transitioned into civilian life. I can see that. I'm not too worried about 4400 because of the diverse executive producers. They have a white woman, biracial woman, and Indian man as lead producers. I'm glad it isn't Charm 2.0 where they're all white. Yeah, well, me and Eloy have been talking. We're going to be doing our season 4 Charmed theory video very soon. We were just talking the other day, and we'll talk about what I think about all the shit about Charmed. Martian Manhunter's cameo in Justice League was just needless fan service. I agree. I'm telling you, Ryan will be either Lucius Fox or Bruce Wayne's daughter. I swear to woo-hoo! I will lose my shit, y'all. I will lose my shit. if Jada's like, oh yeah, I had. Okay, first of all, that makes no sense. Is Ryan older or is Marcus older? Who's the older sibling? If Marcus is older, then they have the same damn father, and that makes her half white. If she's older, then Jada's story about getting rid of her to protect her, to keep her safe from her brother makes no damn sense because the brother wasn't even effing born yet. So I don't understand Jada's logic whatsoever. I don't understand the writing in the situation whatsoever. So it's just all effing stupid. It's just stupid. Dumb. Now I need to know where Vicky Vale is because, she would be on the case faster than anyone drops a pen. So you would think Ryan would be pressed with her around it, and snooping. Very true. Unless Vicky Vale is dead in this universe. Cassandra Cain wasn't done well in Suicide Squad 2, even though I like the movie Why Street Urchin. Well, I mean, technically, she wasn't done well in Birds of Prey. No, I'm saying like bring Cassandra in and she murks Ryan with little thought or care. I would love that. I would love her to come in, beat the hell out of Ryan, and leave. If Cassandra Cain doesn't receive drama therapy from Clayface in her first real cinematic appearance, I'm going to flip. Or scare her enough to actually take her relationship and vigilante life seriously. I think Batwoman is fixable, but if they need to get rid of the showrunner first and get someone who can actually lead the show. I think they need to... This is going to sound horrible because I have no beef with Javicia Leslie. I don't know this woman. She don't know me. It's just what it is. It's just me. Okay. I feel like they should kill off Ryan and make Sophie Batwoman. And then that basically she'd be carrying the cow for 2 women that she loved. But yeah, I think they should do that. I think they should make Sophie, because that gives I don't even know why they didn't think to make Sophie Batwoman to begin with, because they didn't know what the hell to do with her. They had no idea what they were going to do with Sophie. So all they really did was they gave her the Marisol treatment from Charmed. If you watch my Charmed reboot reviews, you know what I'm talking about. Marisol was very promiscuous. She had she slept with another man and had her 3rd child. And they made it seem like she just slept around, basically. She had no problem cheating. She taught her kids that cheating was fine. Sophie basically has this Marisol treatment in the writer's room. She is the one that of course all the new lesbians get to sleep with as initiation. She is the one that chases anybody wearing the bat suit, because she is a hashtag bat chaser. They are taking a very strong, black, powerful woman and making her into the side piece. And I don't like it. And I think it's bullshit. And I don't know why they didn't think that when they were actually constructing this complete train wreck of a plot with Ryan. It doesn't make sense to me. Tattoo Man from Black Lightning versus Ryan. Beat the hell out of her. You mean Lala would beat the shit out of her. Yay, Charm season 4 video. Let us know when. I will let you know. Am I the only one to ship Martian back? Because Justice League Unlimited has me in my feelings. I need to watch it. So right now, yes. All these seasons, and we still haven't seen one sign of Bruce Wayne. He's supposed to be a snobby and obnoxious socialite. How does this show gloss over his absence in the canon? They don't. They just don't care. Arcane is absolutely amazing show, and I've never played a game. I hope you do a video with your daughter about, we are doing one tomorrow. Trust me. She's going to be in the video with me. It might be a live stream because I like to put my daughter on the spot. So, Ryan is the younger half-sibling of Mark. So she's the younger half-sibling. Then they have the same daddy, right? So then essentially, she's not the first Black Batwoman. As I said, she should be the first biracial. Just saying. And then on top of that, like, it's just, there's so much that's shady about this. Because at what point did she give Ryan up then? Is it after the father was killed and she found out she was pregnant? And then she went and had the baby and pretended to be dead on the birth certificate, blah, blah, blah. I want to know at what point that went down. I'm pretty sure it was said that Marcus is older. Cassandra Cain and Lady Shiva in Young Justice is so good. Yeah, I need to catch up with that. Maria is new showrunner in Batwoman. I wish. They couldn't handle me. I'd be look, the writers' room would be so mad at me. Everyone would be like, nope, I veto this. I veto that. That's garbage. That's garbage. New team. I meant Cassandra Cain and Birds of Prey. My brains is still, yeah, I knew what you were talking about because that officially, in a way, is the sequel to Suicide Squad. But no, I knew you weren't talking about my rat girl. But they gave the torture training and what is done to Cassandra explicitly on Shiva when it was literally David again conditioning and torture. Huh. What kind of game is Arcane? Arcane is from League of Legends. It's a prequel to what will be the game of League of Legends, even though League of Legends has been out for a very long time. This is kind of like the origin story of some of the champions, like Vi being one of them, and then Jinx and Caitlyn. But there's a few others that are just in the continuity. So this is Arcane takes place before what we will know as League of Legends. And so we will talk about all that in the video. Your daughter did a great review of Final Fantasy. Yeah, she's a gamer. I keep telling her to do a gaming channel. I got her a capture card. She has a gaming laptop. She could do it. She's got a camera. She's just, 25. No offense if you're 25. She is the stereotypical 25-year-old. Like, I'll do it tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. It's like telling her to take out the trash. I never heard of the game for Arcane. Yeah, it's called League of Legends. That is the game that Arcane is from. There's a lot of information missing in this whole Jada thing. Oh, yes. Absolutely. Young Justice season 5 is much better than season 3. So just, I don't think I think I've seen seasons 1 and 2. So what you're telling me is I should just jump to season 5. Gotcha. League of Legends. Oh, I saw some games and shows on Netflix. I definitely check it out. Definitely. It is worth it. Trust me. Also, there is a theory where Poison Ivy is being kept on the dead tree that is in the middle of the Batcave. That would be funny. You know why? They didn't even know the Batmobile was in the Batcave. That tracks. Like, I believe it. I believe that shit. I subscribe. I'm a gamer too. I will let her know. I'm trying to get her to do it, but I'm gonna drag her out of here kicking and screaming. She's very entertaining. You're just trying to get her away from her games long enough to do it. She just bought a brand new game. I forgot what it was called, but she's been playing it on her Switch nonstop. So yeah, but I'm gonna get it. She's watching Arcane as well, so we will have this streamed. I think it's gonna be a stream tomorrow. So me and baby girl will be doing our thing tomorrow, which will be interesting. Yeah, they did make Shiva more involved, which is weird, but I'm glad to see more of Cassandra Cain and stuff like animated TV shows. I agree. Orphan needs to be in a lot of stuff. They need to make Shiva more active in the comics. I'm tired of seeing her as a physical obstacle. Yes, give her a solo series. Absolutely. I have another OC for DC Comics, and hopefully this character will help John Johns would grow into something more than what Supergirl dwarfed and assassinated. I'm just, I can't even talk about Martian on Supergirl. I'm so in my feelings. He is such a good and I feel bad because his actor is so good at portraying him. I was invested. I felt like I could see him in a movie as Martian Manhunter. It is not the actor's fault. It is the fucking writing. It is always the writing on this show. It just, oh God. God, I cannot. Marcus mentioned in his first episode that his mother had an affair with someone when he was younger. Okay. Ryan's age matched up with the time his mother had a baby bump. They don't have the same dad. So that would mean that it probably is Lucius Fox. Oh, Lord. I can't. I cannot. And then she's going to have daddy. Why didn't your daddy want to keep me? And then Luke's going to be like, I didn't know about your ass. They better not do that to Lucius Fox and make him have an affair on his wife. I definitely invest in a series like that. Dear God, yes. I'm just... Oh, guys. Overall, Batwoman is garbage. I'm sorry. It just is. It's a garbage series for me. There are moments that stand out, like, again, Mary and her dropping the mic. If I hadn't watched the episode, I never would have gotten the satisfaction of seeing that. So I'm here for that. Alice was very amusing. She was the comedy relief, but to be fair, she always is. And Alice drops truths all the time. She drops everybody's truths. She dropped Renee's truth when she was like, you're only doing this because of poison ivy. She dropped Ryan's basically truth, not only about Mary, but also over her mommy complex. She literally drops Luke's. She actually doesn't drop a lot of truths on Luke because I think that Luke is really not in her scope of importance. She don't give a damn about Luke. She dropped Sophie's truth. So, I mean, if you really think about this in the long scheme of things, Alice is not the great villain. She's the great instigator of Batwoman. She's very good at instigating people, even though they don't realize it's happening. Mary, I feel like potentially could really F some stuff up in Batwoman. And I don't think they're going to do it because she has to be redeemed. It's Mary. And I don't know. Luke is just whiny and he's just I don't like him. I don't like him at all. He would not be somebody I would ever hang out with in real life because without smacking the hell out of him. So yeah, I can't do it, guys. I can't do it. But it's okay because when I end this stream, I've got Arcane, so it's all good. I have something to look forward to. Also, if you have not checked out Cowboy Bebop, they just dropped the live action for that. I checked out the first episode. It's pretty good. I am not hating on what they did with it. I think Mr. Cho is pretty good at Spike. I'm pretty much loving the entire cast, honestly. I don't really see... The girl who plays Faye is very familiar to me. I have not looked up her credentials or on IMDb, but she looks very familiar to me. But I mean, I have no problem with anyone. I just wish they had incorporated Ed in. And then again, I don't know if Ed's going to be in it the other episodes, but I'm not seeing Ed, so it's a thing. But yeah, I really feel like Cowboy Bebop is another show that we'll probably end up talking about on ATN. I really am glad you guys are sticking with me. I know I lose every time I do an Arrowverse review and then I talk badly about Batwoman, I lose at least 3 to 4 subs weekly. I mean, it is what it is because people don't like the truth. It's just a thing. But yeah, we will be talking about Cowboy Bebop this coming up week because I have to finish watching it. I've only watched the first episode and I think there are 10 episodes. So I have 9 more, but we're definitely doing Arcane tomorrow. And I'm going to set up the stream in about 10 minutes. I'll set the stream up for that. And then more than likely that's going to be at 1 p.m. CST, so Central Standard Time. Yeah, but as for Batwoman, I'm like, you know what I'm excited about? That it's the mid-season finale on Wednesday. I think it comes on Wednesday, Tuesday, whenever the hell it comes out. I don't even know anymore. I'm so tired. And then I don't have to talk about it for a while. That's literally what's making me excited. I know, hate on me, but I can't help it. I am not enjoying the show. I'm just not. As a woman of color and an LGBTQ plus member, it does nothing for me. It doesn't represent shit in my life. It does not make me excited to see shit on screen. So it is what it is. It's just another victim of the Arrowverse / CW writing. So that's how I feel, guys. But we are at a little over 20, almost an hour and 20 minutes. And yes, Nichols, I did see Jurassic World. I know the Camp Cretaceous is coming out. What is it? Season 4, I believe, is coming out in December. So yay. So we will actually be talking about that too. I love that show. But yeah, we will reconvene again on tomorrow for our Arcane review. I'm also really considering doing A Girl in the Woods from Peacock because it was a really good show. So we'll see. I'm trying to see if I want to just do a really quick video on it or not. We shall see. Just trying to play catch up because, again, every time I try and catch up with my channel, I get voice stuff or something happens with work. So I'm trying, guys. I am trying. But Arcane tomorrow, 1 p.m. CST. We are going to do it. And you're saying Cowboy Bebop, the fans are hating on it. Well, I like to form my own conclusions. So I will tell you how I feel about it after I watch the entire thing. I don't let other people influence me in any way on anything. So there we go. All right, guys, I'm going to bail out so I can go finish watching Arcane before my 1 o'clock. And yeah, it should be exciting. And we were going to have fun talking about it on our stream tomorrow. So be on the lookout. I'm going to put it in the community tab too. So make sure you set the reminder because sometimes YouTube doesn't show it when I'm doing a stream for some reason. So yay to that. But if it is day for you guys, have a good day. If it is evening for you, have a very good evening. And I'll see you at my Arcane, hopefully, review tomorrow, 1 p.m. CST. Bye, guys.